everyone. Welcome to the Shaman King panel presented by Kodansha Comics. Today we will talk about this classic series from past, present, and future. So let's get going. So today's panelists, I am Misaki Kido. I am your host today, and you are...
I'm Ben Applegate. I'm the Director of Publishing Services for the print program for Kodansha Comics.
Yeah. And my name's Ivan Salazar, and I'm the Senior Marketing Director over at Kodansha USA Publishing.
Right on. It's good to see you guys. So let's get going to talk about the Shaman King. So I mentioned that this is a classic series. I remember Shaman King being one of the very popular series in the golden era of Shonen Jump. But Ben, would you like to talk about what the story is about?
I would love to. So, like you said, this is a real Shonen Jump classic from that, like you said, the golden age of the 2000s. This came out and was a huge hit in Japan. When it arrived stateside, it was also a big hit here. Over its lifetime in the US, it sold around 600,000 copies, which is just amazing, obviously. And it got an anime, as most of the people watching this panel probably know, that was very successful, more than 60 episodes long, that ran on US television on Fox, on network TV back in the day, and was also a big hit. The story follows, as you can tell from the title, shamanism, and it's a really unique topic for a shonen manga. In fact, the authors supposedly chose it because there hadn't been one on that topic before. The main character is named Yo. He's a teenager, and he wants to become the Shaman King, the one and only shaman who can commune with the Great Spirit and remake the world. Of course, he wants to use this power for good, but not everyone in the world does. It's a real long shot because, like I said, he's a teenager. So you'd think, well, why don't you just wait for the next one? But there isn't going to be another one for 500 years. So this is his one and only chance. At his side is Anna, who I think she's coming up in a couple of slides here, but she's a very cool character, also very powerful, and kind of his coach and also his fiance, as it turns out. There she is. Which is really funny and unique, and a cool character setup, especially for the very beginning of a shonen manga. It's not standard shonen manga fare for the protagonist to be engaged at the very beginning, like happily engaged too, which is pretty funny. So the shamans have powers to call upon power from the spirit realm, and each of them has powers that come from their background and culture. So there's all of these different international shaman teams who try to enter the shaman fight to become the Shaman King. And you get to see all different parts of Japan. They go to Izumo Taisha, which is, one of the ancient Shinto shrines in Japan. There are teams from China, from the Americas, and it's a really cool global showdown of spirit mediums. And of course, there's a lot to do with the land of the dead and the souls of those who have passed on, and lots of exciting action in those areas too. And the evil villains have twisted designs that Yo has to foil, of course. And you can see the art is like very, very cool. It's not like set in ancient times or anything like that. There's a couple of extended road trips on motorcycles and all of that. So it's a mix of these shamanistic powers and modern conveniences, and really cool shonen kind of exaggerated proportioned art and great action sequences. Yeah.
I remember that he mentioned in countless of interviews that he was influenced by Tezuka Osamu, which I can clearly see in like his psychic characters like Manta right here. Or like that super deforme aspect that you were talking about in the character designs. These are all kind of like rooted to like the classic Tezuka style, I think. And I do really like the fact that he's trying to like incorporate different cultures into the series, and he does a pretty deep research, I guess, and it really shows in his work. So this was one of my favorite series during the time when series like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece were coming up in Shonen Jump, but it stuck out to me as like a totally different, unique series. So yeah, as Ben mentioned, this was a really high profile series even in the US, huh?
Absolutely. I like I said, it aired dubbed on network television, which uh, doesn't really happen very much anymore.
Yeah.
It
All
was
streaming now.
yeah. It was serialized in Shonen Jump, which people are familiar with as the highest circulation manga magazine. It comes out weekly and has been home to all the you know many of the really great classic hits like Dragon Ball and Naruto.
And they
Uh,
had the magazine here in the US as well as in Japan, correct?
that's right. Yeah, they had a print edition of Shonen Jump for a long time, which was retired a few years ago. But I did. Do you know if it did it run in that at the time? I'm actually
Yeah,
not.
from the get go, it was one
Oh
of the
well.
lineups.
Ashamed to say, I was never a subscriber to the print version. But
Yeah, well, it was available at like every like supermarkets in United States. So
Oh
magazines
wow.
are yeah old medium, but it really got the words out to those kids like who never like was exposed to shonen manga before. I also remember it was also like a video game in like different formats. Like I remember one of the first games being like Game Boy Advance. I don't know if you guys remember, but that was like a very classic one. I think this series was set up in a way that was very friendly to like a adventure game or fighting game style. Like you could go either way. I think it was just like asking for it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was quite a phenomenon back in the early 2000s. Shaman King was known to many of us in various forms. I'd like to talk a little bit about who the creator is. Hiroyuki Takei sensei. He was born in Aomori in Japan in 1972. He was debuted as a mangaka in 1996 when it was his first one shot, Death Zero. Sounds really cool actually. Published in Weekly Shonen Jump. So he was already a Shonen Jump creator to begin with. Following year, he started his first series, Butsu Zone. In 1998, he began a serialization of Shaman King, which became a mega hit series that was adapted into other media such as TV and anime series and video games. Takei expanded on the world of Shaman King with his follow-up series like Shaman King Zero, Shaman King Flowers, and since then he has worked on various other series like Jambor and Ultimo, which he worked with Stanley. So here in the slides that you see, Takei Sensei's cover face's cover was the Comic Con logo, but he's sitting next to late Stanley. And actually, I'm sitting next to them too. This was like 10 years ago, like in 2009, 2010.
Oh wow.
He came to, Takei Sensei came to San Diego Comic Con as guest of honor to talk about his series Ultimo. And then, since then, in 2015, he joined Shonen Magazine Edge. This is a publication from Kodansha. He became part of the lineup with his series Nekogahara Stray Cat Samurai. And in 2018, he started to work on new chapters of original Shaman King series called Shaman King Superstars, and it has become increasingly popular among new and previous generation of manga readers. So I've mentioned a bunch of titles just now, but I wanted to highlight one of the series that we publish already from Kodansha Comics called Nekogahara Stray Cat Samurai. This is a story about the wandering samurai Norachio, who has no master, though he still wears the telltale bell of a cat who has a person. This rogue warrior travels across Japan, protecting the weak and cutting down those who have forgotten the virtues of being stray. always on unrivaled swordsmanship. Although Norachio leaves little trace but his fearsome reputation, the enigmatic warrior has made plenty of enemies who are more than willing to get their claw on his head. Will Norachio's past catch up with him, or can he spread his 9 lives in freedom? Sounds really cool. This is like, when you hear cats, it's usually very cute, but this is like cool cat right here.
It's got some cute parts too, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely on the cool side. And I mean, fans of uh, Noragami might know that in that context, Nora means like from Nora Neko means stray, so it's in right there in Norachio's name. And what I love about Takei's art in this series in particular is he takes some really daring steps with ink. There's like these beautiful gray washes, and even the character art has got splattered black ink like it was calligraphy. So if you're a fan of really interesting outside the box manga art, this is one to check out.
That sounds like it's for me then. Right
Yeah.
on. So I'll check it out on either print or digital. Like it's available in both format, and it's for 13 plus audience, and it's a complete series. How many volumes was it? 5 volumes.
Five
Yeah, so
volumes.
it's a
Yeah.
short read, but it's actually a really great one. So please take a look if you're interested. And now, so he's still kind of a mysterious guy to me. So we asked the editors about Takei Sensei and how he met him, and as well as what Shaman King is like means to him. So he said, I met Takei Sensei when he joined in on a meal with another manga creator. It's like very casual. Since then, we've been building bond with each other, and he even allowed me to come hang out at his studio. Takei Sensei is a wonderful creator with wit, good sense of humor, and design. This was a quote from Moriyoshi Yoshida-san. And we also asked him, so what makes Shaman King a special manga? And he said, in the world of Shaman King, you can always find a character who you resonate with. I think that's pretty true. There's so many characters, and they're all like pretty cool. They all have like background stories that it gets revealed throughout the series. So it's kind of hard not to feel for one of them or another. That's kind of one of a good way to look at the series, I think. And okay, so now we want to move on to talk about the new Shaman King.
Chum chaka
Yeah,
chum.
we have new announcements today on this panel. So let's take a look at what we have. Ooh, okay. So this is the one that everybody on the internet's been talking about. The complete original series of Shaman King. Ivan? Do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I could talk about it. So, if you might have heard the news announced by the time this panel comes out, we announced the information last week that we're going to be teaming up with comiXology Originals to bring back the entire Shaman King series, completed for the first time in English, all 35 volumes. And it's
35?
all, yeah, and it's all going to drop at once on July 28th. So by the time this panel comes out, you're going to be waiting a very little bit of time before you can read the entire Shaman King series. And, if you're wondering why comiXology Originals sounds familiar, is that we started partnering with comiXology Originals to bring back a lot of classic manga that have never been completed in English. And this includes series like Beck, and more recently, The Drops of God, which we're working on completing the entire English translation of. Again, series that have come over to the States before in the past, but just never really saw the end. And so to add to that, we're really happy to bring over like Shaman King completed for the first time. If you might have seen these covers show up on the internet, they're just all new cover art, through the grace of Takei Sensei. And like they look really, really dang cool. And like really, I think immediately give you a sense of the kinds of stories that you're going to be reading once you jump fully into the series. And just like with any comiXology originals, if you have Kindle Unlimited, if you have comiXology Unlimited, these will be free to read, like all 35 volumes. But otherwise, they'll be available to purchase digitally. Yeah, for your reading pleasure. So yeah.
Wait, so I remember this is like super nerdy, but like I
Yeah.
remember the original series being like ended at volume 32, but I noticed it says volume 35. So does that mean the last three volumes in this the new release is going to be completely new volumes?
Well, what's it called? I guess what I was reading about when I was sort of researching the discrepancy was the idea that at some point, just because they wanted to end it and because they needed, I think that there are a lot of series that just weren't seeing the end, like the true end. They just said like, okay, we'll cut it off at 32. That's a fine enough ending, and but there was a true ending, which was the up to volume 35. So that's where I think it's going to be very exciting. Like even for fans who have already read the original series, thinking that they know how it ended. Like I think like this re-release will show fans like, oh no, there was another way that it ended. So
They think they've read the
they
original
think they
series.
read, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a really big news to me. I'm like genuinely excited about the yeah, I'll read every single one of these volumes. And it's coming out soon.
Very soon. So again, July 28th, by the time this panel comes out, it'll be the following week. So you just have to wait a very little bit of time, and then boom, you can just download all 35 volumes. Again, if you have Kindle Unlimited or comiXology Unlimited.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Very exciting. We got some more announcements about the digital release. We got new Shaman King spin-offs on digital. You want to talk about this too, Ivan?
What's it called? Really, it's just some of the series that you've mentioned before, like Shaman King Zero. We're finally going to be able to release the various Shaman King series in the US, like all the spin-offs. Like I think part of it is in celebration of the re-release of the original series. We're just gonna sort of all throughout August inundate fans with the greater Shaman King universe. So in Shaman King Zero, it's a return to the world of Shaman King. Before the Shaman fight, there's countless tales of heartache and worry as Yo and the others work their way towards the tournament. And before they're here in Shaman King Zero. So this will be kicking off in August 4th.
Yeah, I see the character Hao on the cover. I think that's him. That's like a kind of a villain in this series, but it's not really at the same time.
It's like ambiguous, yeah.
If I remember correctly, like in the Shaman King Zero starts with a conversation between Yo and Hao, like in a very like quiet setting, and it's very surreal, and it's kind of like reading between the chapters and pages of the original series. So if you're kind of interested in what the main character and the main villain is thinking about, and then they're sharing the thinking of the deepest thoughts of each other. Like this is actually a really interesting piece. There's few volumes. I think there was like 2 volumes of them. So check out Shaman King Zero, debuting on August 4th. That's pretty soon too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a few more spin-offs coming out on August. Next one. Oh, okay, Shaman King Flowers. What's this?
Yeah. What's it called? So again, a part of our August of Shaman King, exploiting the world of Shaman King with Shaman King Flowers. So the action returns in this brand new sequel to Shaman King. So after the story that we know, Hana Asakura finds that the beginning of being the son of Yo and Ana Asakura, oh man, so we're getting to like Boruto territory. Isn't all it's cracked up to be. And his boredom has him itching for any kind of excitement, but when a fight comes straight to his doorstep, it's from a place he'd least expect, his own family. The battle for the Asakura supremacy begins.
Wow, dude, this is like kind of crazy because remember, Ben, earlier you were talking about how like it's like rare in shonen manga that like series starts with like like young couple who are like already destined to marry each other. So like I always kind of wonder like what their kid's gonna be like, and like this is actually the first time I heard his name, Hana. It sounds like a girl's name, but it means flower, and Yo's name is that means leaf, and Hana like rhymes with Anna. This is really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, this was predates Boruto, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Before Boruto, there was
Yeah.
Shaman King second generation. And it looks like he's with Amidamaru, the spirit of Yo. So there has been something that happens to pass down the spirit, I guess. That sounds really legit. Looking forward to read this piece as well. Next one. Oh, okay, this is a new Shaman King chapter.
Yeah. Misaki, do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, like Shaman King Superstar. So this is like the latest work by Takei Sensei. Since Shaman King's popularity never actually died, so he finally came to revisit the original story to kind of follow up where he took off from the original series. And I'm assuming that it's after the true ending too. But what I like to highlight here is like his art has grown in so many ways through the times that he has worked on various other series. Like it was already kind of progressing, but it's kind of fresh to see his like revamped art drawing the Shaman King. Seems to be a very interesting mix, and it's comes from the same voice of the same creator, which kind of means a lot to me. It's sometimes like a properties taken in by like another creator to draw the continuation, but in this case, it's Takei himself and his vision of what the story, what happens to the story after where he took off. So I'm really excited that he's working on Shaman King again, and looking forward to read this piece as well. And this one is coming out in August 18th. It's like back to back.
Yeah.
And then,
I couldn't agree more with what you just said about his art style.
Oh, yeah.
progressing. Yeah, it's so cool to watch.
it's like a little bit like slick, and then a little more feminine, but like his coloring style has become like more like new school.
And it's all the
Very new.
great like draftsmen of manga can go through this kind of cool progression where their original art is like really raw, and you could feel the power and the energy behind it, and then as they refine their style over the years, it kind of changes and grows. And the artist I'm also thinking of is Yukito Kishiro, the creator of Battle Angel Alita, and how you can put Mars Chronicle, the latest chapter, right next to the original Battle Angel Alita, and you can see the progression over the years. That's kind of how I feel about Takei Sensei as well, with both this and Nekogahara too.
And it's not that one is better than the other. It's just like it's different from each other, and
Yep,
that's
yep.
what makes me feel like, wow, this guy's like growing as an artist. That's really really awesome. All right, so that was Shaman King Superstar, and then the last of the new spin-offs that we have is the Shaman King Red Crimson. What's this one about?
Okay.
Oh
So-
wait, this is that one character. I'm sorry, I'm
No,
just
it's
noticing.
okay.
It's what's this? It's his sister. The June. This is yeah. This is a story of the main rival's older sister, who uses the Chinese zombie, the Kyonshi, of like a very strong fighter named Pailong. He's kind of like a Bruce Lee type of character. So I remember her being kind of like a like really smart one who's very dark at the same time. She's kind of like the very aware of like what do you call it, politics behind the shaman society, and she's like fully embedded in it, and she is like in support of making her little brother Shaman King, but she's also very powerful herself. So yeah, Red Crimson was like an organization, almost like a gang that she had, and I guess it's still alive. This is a bad news, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good news, but it's a bad news that she's on the move, and she must have gotten a lot more powerful since the end of the series. So I guess this one is focused on the story from her point of view, and it's going to be debuting in August 25. So it's at the end of the year, end of the month.
She's
So-
got those Taoist talismans there. Like,
Yeah.
it shows how he brings in all of these things from other cultures. Yeah, it's cool.
You can totally control the dead with these powerful talismans. I think that was the whole thing about Kyonshi. I really like Kyonshi and Zombie and so forth. So I'm very excited, as you can see. Wow, so there's gonna be like new Shaman King to read every week of August, huh?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the entire month is just gonna be Shaman King month.
That's pretty crazy. So everybody look forward to Shaman King August. It's going to be pretty hot. And then I'm going to move on to this one's going to be a special one.
Oh yeah, in case you're wondering why I'm here.
Here you go. Print edition is coming soon. Ben, you want to talk about this one?
Yes, they certainly are. We are. If you love Shaman King, but you do not want to read it on an iPad, but you'd rather have it on good old Dead Trees, then we are
Zombies.
creating a new print edition of Shaman King.
Yay.
yeah.
This is a big one. I'm sure people
Yeah.
have been waiting for the new edition of Shaman
They
King.
certainly have, and it's been difficult for me to watch everybody on Twitter saying, "When's the Shaman King? What's Shaman King going to print? What's Shaman King going to print?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to say something. I want to
Yeah.
tell him. I want to
Yeah.
tell him
This is the
so much.
moment.
Well, now you can tell.
Yeah,
You-
exactly.
Tell.
So we'll be bringing it back in 2021. We'll start issuing new print editions. These will feature a revised translation and lettering, and of course the brand new content at the very end. So it'll be the first time the real ending of the series has been in print in English.
Wow.
And in a very special treat and value for readers, these will be 3-in-1 omnibus editions. So you'll be able to get 3 volumes worth of content over 600 pages for just under $20 in the US, $25.99 in Canada.
Wow.
And even more exciting, we will be releasing the first 2 of them all on the same day.
Ooh.
That's
So
pretty
that's
great.
1,200 pages of Shaman King in print,
That's a lot
all
of
on the
editing.
same day.
Yeah.
Yes, it certainly is. We've already gotten started on that, so but we're excited about it. This is going to be really fun.
This is crazy. I was reading a little bit of Shaman King before this panel, and I was reading volume 1 through 3, and it was just like continuous. Like it was like so much buildup happening within those 3. Like I couldn't stop reading. So this might actually be a really good pacing to read it as like a 3-in-1 omnibus.
Well, great shonen manga like this are the original bingeable content, right? I
Yeah.
mean, in Japan, you can sit in a manga cafe and you can peel through like 50 volumes, you know? So it's definitely something that we all consider, as you know, like wanting to get as much of it out there as quickly as possible. So that's what we'll be doing.
Right on. This is super exciting and awesome news. Thank you for sharing. So please look forward to Shaman King Omnibus in spring 2021. It'll be right around that time when the new anime will be coming out. So I'm sure like a bunch of new readers will pick up Shaman King, hopefully. And I am so grateful that we can share the new work, the classic work with the new audience. And we actually got a comment from Takei sensei himself, and then we asked him how he feels about the this release, and so here's a message from the creator. He said, "It's been over 10 years since I've completed Shaman King, but finally, at last, I can deliver the true ending to the story to the fans in America. It's a message from my heart, and I think it's a particularly important one in this day and age. I hope that it will reach the hearts of many comrades." Yay! Takei sensei. Yeah,
Very
so I guess
nice.
he is also stoked that this new ending is coming out, and the whole franchise of Shaman King is being revived in English edition. So I'm very glad to be part of that. Um, and thank you very much, Takei Sensei, for all these years of working. I guess that concludes our presentation. I wish I had a Q&A session with the fans, but since it's a video panel, I think we'll leave it out until on our social media. Since the information is out, you can ask us pretty much anything about Shaman King now on our Twitter or Facebook. Um, we're also going to post all the announcements that we have made on this panel on kodanshacomic.com on right after this panel. Also, sign up to our newsletter so that whenever we have a big announcement like this and you aren't aware of, like we would deliver it to you. So it's a good way to stay in touch and stay on top of all the information from Kodansha Comics. So thank you very much once again, Ben and Ivan, for joining this panel. And
Thank you, Misaki.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like you were saying, we really do read the stuff that people send in to us, and I hope that this is goes to show that we do that even when we can't say anything back. And if you have comments or please share your feelings, your comments, your suggestions, whatever, with us on social media or however you want to get in touch with us. We are reading and listening, even if there's nothing we could say for various reasons publicly. So
various reasons.
yeah, but thank you for tuning in and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ivan, you have any last words?
Not much right now. I mean, so here, this might be a dark secret, but like I personally have never read the Shaman King manga. Like I
Oh,
was the
you're
person
lucky
who,
then.
yeah, I was somebody who got in on the anime, and even beyond what was being broadcast on network television, because even what was shown on network television eventually wasn't completed either. So to experience the anime, I was just like, oh, okay, this is really cool. But now that the manga is coming out, like I'm very excited to sort of see like a how the story links up, b considering like how many volumes are actually going to be out. I imagine that the story is way more expanded than the anime was, so I'm curious to see like all the other twists and turns that are going to be taken in the actual story. And it's, I don't know, it's very cool that this creator has sort of like lived so long in this world, but has evolved as a storyteller, and is sort of taking that evolution through the different stories and different paths that he's writing about in Shaman King.
Yeah,
So
it really makes it into like the universe of Shaman King, I think.
right.
Yeah, and if you have not read Shaman King, it's actually not a bad thing. It's you're in it for a treat, man. Like you have like 35 volumes to
Yeah.
read from
Yeah.
here, and it's so good. I'm not going to give you spoilers. But it's going to be really good. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're in it for a treat.
And then after that, you got 5 volumes of Nekogahara Stray Cat Samurai.
That's
to get
right.
through, so
I'm gonna
there
read
you
that
go.
today.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
all the spin-offs and sequels. And
Yeah.
everything. Yep.
Which like is funny. There's a manga recommendation panel that Misaki and I were on last year, and one of the panelists brought up Nekogahara. And they were saying like,
Wow.
yeah, if you like a kind of like cute but also dark manga, because I guess like the main character is also like hooked on catnip or something like that, and so I'm like, after how much we've talked about Shaman King and stuff like that, I feel like Nekogahara is a definite read because of how cool it looks and how cool the concept is. And
if you're ever looking for a one-eyed anthropomorphic cat, Toshiro Mifune, Kurosawa movie character,
yeah, there you go.
Right on. All right. So, before we close out, I wanted to also thank Comic Con International for having the Comic Con at home. I know that the convention has been canceled this year, and we miss you all to see in person. But I'm sure we could see each other again. And until then, we will be looking. We would be doing our thing, making manga. So. Looking forward to those days that we can see each other again.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you,
All
Kamakan.
right. So thank you very much for joining the Kodansha Comics Shaman King panel, and we will see you soon.
Yep. Catch you on the flip side. Sayonara.
Bye, everybody.
Hi.